Alright guys, how's it going today? So, my other new toy finally came, and had to order this off of Northern Tool, and it was going to take a little while. It was on back order, but they seemed to finally got it into stock. I got one more thing coming from there too, but that's still on back order, but whatever. So, finally picked up a new trimmer, and this is a Honda HHT35S. So this is their straight shaft, pretty much their biggest trimmer you can get from Honda. This is the four stroke. The reason why I went with this one is because I wanted something a little bit bigger, and the way this one is, supposedly the oil and the fuel are separate now. It's not mixed together, which on the old John Deere trimmer that is now officially been parted out and retired because she didn't want to come to life this summer, so went all summer without a trimmer, but nothing to really do. So I bought this one, and I was going to buy this from my local John Deere dealer, where I was going to buy the Honda snowblower from too, but apparently they don't do Honda stuff anymore. So it's pretty much forced to just go online and get this trimmer. So it's a 4-stroke, obviously, so like I said, you don't mix the oil and the fuel together. This is the type of oil that it takes, SAE 10W30. This is Honda oil, but you can probably get just some regular stuff with the hardware, unless you want to try to find this online. So I'll come with oil. Of course, I come with the book. Come with some safety goggles, which will be handy, especially when I'm doing brush hog work. And then it has this I guess shoulder strap or whatever, so you can put all the weight of the trimmer on this instead of it being on your arms. So that's probably going to definitely come in handy. Yeah, and I believe you can put other attachments on here too, but I think I'm just going to be mostly using it as a string trimmer. It looks like it already has some string in there. How much, I don't exactly know, but I'm hoping that I can put my John Deere string in here, because I got a big roll of John Deere string too, and I haven't even gone halfway through that roll yet, so I'm hoping it'll fit in this trimmer as well, so then I don't have to buy separate string. But yeah, so you got your on and off. So this is just your off, and then your safety stuff, you know, that you need to push in, and that's for your shoulder strap. I believe this can be adjusted. May have to adjust that a little bit. The John Deere was further down, but maybe that's the issue why I didn't like it so much, but I don't know. So you got a big huge fuel tank, and then yeah, so just straight fuel goes in there, gasoline, and then your oil goes in this little guy, this little silver guy, and you have to fill it up to its proper level. And they said that there might be still, you can tell it's wet, but they said there might still be a tad bit of oil in there, because apparently they test them before they ship them. So, and what it sounds like in the book, it takes this whole container, I guess, which will probably last me a couple of years, I imagine. I don't really know. And then just straight gasoline. This has the Honda GX35 engine on it. So rated for, I believe, 35 cc's, whereas the John Deere trimmer was 29 cc's. So obviously there's a huge difference in power. You can even see the head, the engine, you know, it's way bigger than the John Deere. So did bring a little bit of gas, and of course the oil. We are going to attempt to fire this thing up and see if we can get her. See if we can even get it running today. Oh, there's not much trimming that I need to do anyway, but I just want to make sure myself that it's going to run. So I don't know what all this. Oh, so this must just be a warning card. Of course, none of it's in freaking English. So right here, I guess. So it's just a warning thing that there's no oil in the engine. So I guess what we'll do is I will flip you guys around, and I can lay you guys down, and maybe we'll get some oil added in this thing, and then some fuel, and maybe we can see if we can fire this bad boy up. So give me 1 second. Alright guys, so I think I got you hopefully good enough. Unfortunately, this is just completely freaking rednecked because I don't have a tripod for the phones. It's just for my regular camcorder that I don't really use anymore. So I filled it up with gas. It didn't take as much as I thought it would. It filled it right up. So I guess whatever. So and I'm not really reading the instructions on how to start it because I think it's about the same as any other trimmer. You just put all the safety stuff in and full choke and you send her. So let's see if we can get this thing to fire up. She's a little heavier. It's going to definitely be nice to have that strap put on. You got to prime it first. There is a primer bulb on here. John Deere had theirs in a little bit of a better spot. This one I don't really. It's a little more hard to get to. That's probably more than enough. Alright, let's see what happens. Make sure everything's tight. Extremely quiet, way quieter than the John Deere. That thing is so freaking quiet, it's unbelievable. It's way quieter than my John Deere. One thing that I noticed right out of the gate is the head. This one actually spins in the opposite direction of the John Deere. So that's going to be a little bit something different to get used to. It wants to spin, I guess, that direction, you know, so like this. Whereas the John Deere, it was like this. It spun in that direction, so it's yeah, it's definitely something different, alright. It's unbelievable how quiet it is. And on the John Deere trimmer, I actually turned the idle down a little bit just because the head was spinning. And even after adjusting it to my liking, it was still, you know, loud. So she's definitely a lot quieter. I'll have to see if I can maybe get some video. A little bit of a rough idle right there, but see if I can get somebody to help be my camera person. Maybe we can do a little bit of trimming. There is a little bit of trimming that I could do, I guess. But she's got a lot of torque because I could feel it in the, like when I would rev it up, it wanted to twist in my hands. The John Deere never did do that, but that's because the John Deere's so gutless. But I had the John Deere for, you know, 10 years, and it's just the last year I've been having issues with it, so it was time for a new trimmer. And I was mostly thinking about getting this one, but then I also started kind of falling in love with the Echo brand one too, but they didn't have the one that I wanted, and they don't have this 4-stroke like I wanted. So, but as of right now, I can already tell you it's definitely worth the money. You know, it's a little heavy, but that's why they give you that shoulder strap. You know, if you can't handle it, then you can put some of the weight on your shoulder, and then it won't be so bad. Which is probably what I'll end up doing, because I do a lot of trimming, so. But so quiet, can't believe it. Well, there you go. I don't know what else, I guess, to really videotape, I guess, besides if I get a camera person out here to help me videotape a little bit. There is a little bit here I could trim around that tree stump there and along around the shop and stuff. So she is, yeah, very torquey. Which is, another thing too. I got to point this out because now I'm comparing this to a machine that's 10 years old, and a little bit less power. And this is a curved shaft, where this is a straight shaft. So, of course, you're going to get a little more power, I think, to the head. Since you're a straight shaft. So, but with this trimmer, it seems like if you're only at maybe half throttle, like the head is already spinning faster than what the John Deere is at full throttle. Now, I don't run my stuff wide open, even with the John Deere trimmer. I never ran it wide open for trimming around the house, because it's just not needed, because it's not that thick. Now, if you were to brush hog, which I am going to be doing a little bit of brush hog work with this, you're probably going to want to run it wide open. But since I'm still I know that Honda probably already did the break-in period kind of thing, just to, make it easier for us. But I like to baby my stuff kind of right out of the gate. So any trimming that I do today or whatever, it's just going to be babying it. Look at that. Freaking scammers are calling me. Unfreaking believable. And they left me a goddamn voicemail. Cocksuckers. Guess I'll have to turn my voicemail shit off. And I turned it on because I had people calling me that were important. But geez, now I got the scammers freaking leaving voicemails. Just can't get rid of the cocksuckers. Unbelievable. But overall, I know I haven't had any experience with it. This is a whole totally different animal to me now compared to my John Deere. But she's got tons of power. She's going to have, I think, more than enough power to do what I got to do. And I believe you can run other attachments like a cutter for cutting branch, or little trees or something, little bushes. Yeah, you just have to change out the front end, take that head off. I think you got to take that shield off, put a different shield on. I didn't order any of that because I don't really plan on doing any of that with this trimmer. It's just going to be basically just a string trimmer. I like that they sent some string with it. I don't know how much they sent with it. I imagine it's not a full roll. But I don't know. To me, it looks like it's the same size as what my John Deere string is. So I should be able to get away with using my leftover string that I got. I actually probably could even... Shouldn't have to this year. What did I do with my... I guess it would be in here. Yeah, all my leftover John Deere parts are in here. So I think if I... Yeah, so this is the head off the old John Deere trimmer. So this is still full because I filled it up last year. So if I can take this string and put it into that trimmer, which I'm pretty sure I can do, it looks like it's about the same size stuff. So yeah, so that's gonna be good then. I don't really want to have to buy, a different kind of string just because I got a different style of trimmer now. I'll rather just use what I got. I'll have to mess around with it a little bit. How do you like my redneck tripod? Gets the job done, though. So yeah. I mean, she's a quiet little sucker. I mean, just out in idle, she's quiet. Compared to that old thing. So the only way I was ever talking to anybody, I had to shut that off. I think with this, I could leave it idling, so. But unfortunately, it's late in the year now. As you can see, the trees or the leaves are falling off the trees now. So we're in fall time mode now, and of course the leaves are dropping, obviously, and not really a lot to trim. I mean, there's a little miscellaneous stuff I can trim. Got stuff right there. I don't know if I have stuff. I mean, I do. I mean, we can find, where that power box thing is. That's all packed full of grass. So if I can get a camera person to come over, or get a person to come over and be my tripod, maybe we'll try to get some video of this thing in action for you. Because that's probably about all the trimming I'm going to do for the year. I'm not going to really do much else. And I also got the Blazer out, the Tahoe. she's gonna get her bath today. I guess Mother went ahead and cleaned the windows already, but I'm going to clean the body off. Damn, rims look damn nice on that Blazer. I got new rims on that Blazer yesterday or a couple days ago, so yeah. So, but yeah, so there's the new trimmer. It'll either be a part 1 or a part 2. This will be either all in one big video, or it'll be a 2-part video, whatever. I don't know. I got to see if I can get a camera or get a person over here to be my camera person. But pretty easy to start. Just give it full choke and prime it with the primer bulb. I don't know how many prime pumps it's supposed to do. I know on the John Deere they said about, I think, 4 to 5 pumps on the primer bulb, and then you're good to go. So I imagine it's about the same with this thing too. So, but they have all their information in here, but you know, not many people actually read them. But yeah, so yeah, here, primer bulb. How many times do they say? Yeah, we know what it does. To start a cold engine, blah, 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 blah. It sounds like you just keep pushing the primer bulb until you see fuel in the clear line. Alright, well, so they don't, looks like they don't really give out a number. You just keep going until you see fuel coming out of that fuel line. Yeah, so I guess you just, the John Deere only had said about 4 or 5, but I guess Honda, they just make it easier, I guess, just to say to prime it, keep priming until you see something come out of there's a clear fuel line. There's a suction line and then a return line. One of them is clear, and whatever which one is clear, that's the one you look for. And if you don't see any air in it, or you see it full of fuel, then you can go ahead and just start it. But this thing starts just already so much better than the John Deere. Of course, the John Deere, towards the end there was getting hard to start, and then this year it wasn't going to start. I even rebuilt the carburetor on that damn thing. New spark plug. I checked for spark. It had spark. Checked for fuel. It had fuel. No clue why it wouldn't start. I'm thinking it's a cylinder issue. Everything was bypassing the piston. I think everything was just bypassing it. I think it was, maybe the rings were wore out on it and everything was just slipping through and it just wasn't firing on it. It ran last year, but it was a biatch to get it to run. So I said, you know what, I'm done. So John Deere, you've been a good trimmer. I've had you for 10 years. You were a little undersized for what I was doing. At the house it was fine, but when I was going to the farm and doing stuff there, it was pretty much, not enough power for it. But did a lot of trimming, so I think it just got wore out. But like I said, that was only 29 cc's, and this is 35 cc, so definitely a lot more power. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get much time to play with it, I guess. We already had our first frost warning. I don't know if we actually got any frost or not, but whatever is standing, and there's some tall grass standing here. I just was lazy and didn't feel like cutting it with my hands, so I just left it. So maybe we'll knock it down with the brand new Honda trimmer. But like I said, the main reason why I went with this one, it was bigger. I wanted to give Honda a try, and I like this one a lot because the oil and the fuel were now separate. I'm not a fan of mixing the stuff together. That's what I did with the John Deere. But it seems like if you get the mix ratio off, then it's either not getting enough oil or it's getting too much oil and then it's burning it. And then that's why it smokes. In the last couple of years, it was smoking pretty good there. So I'm thinking, well, either the mixture's off or it's burning it. It's just, you know, the engine's wore out, so it's just starting to burn it. So I'm not gonna play with it. That thing's going in a scrap pile. I robbed what I could for parts off it. I'll sell them on eBay or something. They're still good parts. And then that we will, that'll be the new toy. So, but yeah, I'm gonna put the strap on because I'm definitely going to be using that, and then we'll break her in. We'll put a little bit of put a few minutes on her anyway. So, but anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. This is going to just be part 1 here, and then part 2 we'll run around, do a little bit of trimming, see if I can get somebody to help me videotape, or maybe just have to use the GoPro, I guess. And yeah, we'll see what we'll just see what she does. So I will see you guys in part 2 then. So yeah, take her easy.